Good morning, everybody. What's happening? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. Welcome, welcome, welcome to 60 Frames Full Ray Tracing with Machine Learning on the Porch Light Podcast, brought to you by the Porch Light Podcast. I am your humble host, your thief in the night, the thing that goes bump so that you have to get up and check. What is happening, everybody? What is going on? Shout out to everybody. It is Sunday. It is August. We're coming up on my birthday. I'd be an old man. August 8th, 2021. And we still don't have flying cars like they had on the Jetsons. So what is happening? Certainly hope everybody is having a good weekend. I had to work yesterday. I put in my time. Needless to say, I put in my time. So let's do a little bit of cleaning here. What has happened to everybody in the chat? Everybody will be joining later. And everybody who will be listening live. Hit that like button, people. Slap it. Slap that like button. I also want to give a big shout out to King Thrash. Hopefully seems to be on the mend. Let's certainly keep him in your thoughts and prayers. Yeah, that virus is not to be effed with. Go ahead and get the information you need, that your family needs, and ask any questions you need to of your local physician, and take care of yourselves. There's only one of you in the world, so that makes you an endangered species. So make sure you take care of that and take care of your families. But all right, guys, let's go ahead and let's do a little bit of house cleaning here. First, a general announcement. I've got confirmation that on the bootleg podcast that I'm going to be doing. Now, this is provided that Porter Rock cannot do 60 frames no lag on Tuesday night. Okay, let me be 100% clear on that. Optimus Code is going to be the special guest. And so he's got the confirmation. He says to set it up. Now, if we're going to do 60 frames no lag, we'll postpone it. So certainly hope he's okay with that. But give a big shout out to that. Been efforting getting guests back on again. And going also efforting to get J-Dub on that same podcast. Had to have us three kind of ham it up and chop it up. Gonna ask Code some questions. So get your questions ready for Optimus Code. Okay, Code has been in the business for over 2 decades. He calls it like he sees it, and the man has been spot on with what he has said. So yeah, and we'll also have him plug his podcast. If you're not listening to it, we'll have that link in the chat for you guys. But go ahead and make sure you sub to him, and because he's giving you, he's giving you the brand new funk, and you won't have to worry about anything. One of the funniest podcasts he did is why the Xbox community, I guess, kicked him out, which I didn't know happened. I really didn't know happened. So say he is now part of Pegasus Nation. And so we'll ask him about that, and get them ready. Get your questions about ray tracing ready, about ray tracing sound, and what he believes that could come to, and be ready for it. That's why he's here. We'll answer questions and maybe have him on for about an hour or so. Also going to have J-Dub City on, the real J-Dub, and why for some reason he constantly is getting flagged and everything by people. I don't know why, because he keeps saying it's in fun, but he keeps losing his accounts. So we'll have them both on hopefully next week. Next Tuesday is what I'm shooting for. So stand by on that. Definitely will make an announcement. I will make an announcement Tuesday morning. That's the 10th. So if something changes, just stand by on that. So, but let me give a big shout out to everybody that is here. Sam Ash, good morning. Extreme Gamer, how you doing? Emer17, how you doing there, brother? How you doing? Certainly hope you and your family are well. Link, how you doing, man? Long time no see. Hit that like button, slap it. Turris is great. Hit that like button, brother. Who else is here? The Nightbot's in the house. Eric83, the Raiders, is here in the house. And if you all don't know, this past weekend that we're in right now is the last weekend that there won't be any kind of football. Starting Thursday night, the NFL starts in full preseason. I mean, we already had the Hall of Fame game on Thursday night. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed watching the game, seeing the Hall of Fame announcements. But it did make me feel old because Charles Woodson is in the Hall of Fame, and I saw him play live in college in, I guess it was 96. He played for Michigan, and I went to the Michigan-Ohio State game with some friends, and enjoyed that. And he had a big game. He had an interception. He had a kickoff return for so they won that game. He won the Heisman. And I saw, and then with Manning's going in, and I've seen Manning play twice. Saw him play once at Tennessee Stadium. They blew Kentucky off the field. And then they came back the very next year in Lexington, and they blew Kentucky off the field. So, it is what it is. So I've seen Eli Manning play. I've seen Peyton play. I've seen, and again, it's just, wow. But where does the time go? Those guys were just in college for me a few years ago, it seems like. So, yeah. But anyway, this is the last weekend where there's no NFL. No NFL. So Sam Ash was happening. Said he stopped caring about football a long time ago. All right, well, fair enough. I mean, I'm just letting people know. It will be back on Thursday night. And remember, the preseason is only 3 games this year. So the regular season, I guess, starts what? Sunday, September? Because it'll be 1, 2, 3. And then, of course, if you're Dallas or Pittsburgh, you get 4 preseason games. Because of my Hall of Fame game. So, but hit that like button, people. Go ahead and slap it for me. So, but what is going on now? We'll go ahead and get into it this morning. As you can see, this is a discussion. And but a couple quick gaming updates. Deathloop has gone gold. So whatever launch date they have for it in September, that's a solid date now. I never expect the games to come out until they go gold. And to me, now, at this point, if Deathloop gets delayed again, it's an official delay. Okay, to me, you have a window of when you think the game will be ready, then you have your gold window. And once it goes gold, at this point, if Deathloop gets pushed another week, that's an official delay. And that's the way I interpret the information. So, and it is what it is. So what else is going on? Apparently, Halo, the demo or whatever you want to call it, they were doing is having major FPS drops on Xbox. That is according to Digital Foundry. And again, this is just something I'm gonna be talking to Optimus Code about. I really want his opinion on why the Xbox is just being outperformed by the PlayStation. My personal belief is that there are more bottlenecks in the Xbox than there are the PlayStation. But I'm gonna ask him what his opinion is. He's been in the business for over 20 years, so I'm gonna ask him his opinion because he will definitely know more. He may have some inside baseball on it, but it does look like, and this is just my opinion, that the PlayStation has eliminated bottlenecks and has less screen tearing, has less FPS drops on a lot of these games. And Xbox did come with VRR support out the box, but the televisions that I've looked at that have VRR on them, I think, man, those TVs are going to cost you right now about $1,500. So right now those could go on sale. Those could be cheaper, so we'll have to wait and see. But just so you know, just so you know, what is going, that's how much you'd have to pay. But Microsoft, and this, again, my opinion, Microsoft knew that their Series X and S consoles were going to have screen tearing problems, and they knew they had bottleneck issues, so they immediately put a fix out, which is VRR, which people are right about that. And this is why I said, if you can't afford those TVs, because I sure as hell can, if you can't buy one of those TVs, then go ahead and get a monitor that has, V-Sync or G-Sync and the VRR stuff on it. That way you don't have to worry about it. So, and the LLR, whatever it's called, VLR, they're again, it's gonna just support the same thing. But again, it was ready out the box. And now just quickly, my opinion on that is because they knew they were gonna have issues with screen tearing. The VRR does help eliminate that. May not eliminate it completely, just like V-Sync on my PC is supposed to prevent it from dropping below 60 or right about that. And sometimes I'll drop down to like 53 or 55. Now it doesn't do it for long, like it does it for a second, but you get the gist of it. So and again, the rumor is that Sony with their television sets in November, of course, right around Black Friday, they're going to activate VRR in their X900 and their X85 and then their 900 series. Again, have to wait and see. Again, it's just a rumor. They're also gonna, they're already supporting 1440p. They also support widescreen, so they're supporting 2160p and by 1080p. Well, with widescreen, if you get a widescreen monitor, the ones that I've looked at them before, and but Sony, with Days Gone, and I think Death Stranding, and I do believe Horizon Zero Dawn, all have this on there, all have the support. So, but again, have to wait and see. It's not official yet, so it's just a rumor, and we'll have to wait and see. Moving on, I want to give a big shout out to two guys, two podcasters. One is Big Cloud he had a guest on there from IGN yesterday. You all go check that out. Big Cloud hit 10,000, and so big shout out to him. And he said over a year ago that he was going to be changing the direction of his podcast, and he's gotten a couple of corporate sponsors now. So congratulations to him. Also want to give a big shout out to Hip Hop Gamer. If you don't know, and I'll paraphrase Hip Hop Gamer, according to what he's been told, and I'm paraphrasing him. He gets all the credit. Let me make that clear. This is not me breaking any news. If this turns out to be true, great. Apparently, PlayStation is going to be able to emulate some PS1 and PS3 games. Again, let me make this clear. That I am paraphrasing him, and if I got it wrong, somebody can just correct me. My understanding is that he had a quick podcast on this, where he talked about it, so that PlayStation will be emulating some PS3 and some PS1 games. So if true, you might see Parasite Eve being emulated. I'm saying if it's true. Siphon Filter, I think, was on PS1. Tenchu was on PS1. So, stuff like that. Now, and I do believe if Sony does this, that you will get something like a classic PlayStation collection. Like right now, if you have a PS5, you can sign up and get something called like the PlayStation Collection. And it's got like all the greatest hits on there. It's got Detroit Become Human. It's got God of War. It's got, I believe, Horizon Zero Dawn. It's got all the big, Infamous. I think Infamous Second Son may be in there. It's got a lot, Bloodborne. It's got a lot of major games in there that were big hits over the PS4 generation. So if they're able to do this, you may see an emulating package. And guess what? You're going to have to pay for it. That's just my opinion. If Sony does this and they charge for it, don't be shocked. Because, not that they will, but if I was Sony, I would charge you for it. Okay? The PlayStation Collection, I think, came with the PlayStation. So to me, in theory, they could say, well, you're getting that for free. You may have to pay for the emulation. So have to wait and see, though. Let's wait and see if my man Hip Hop Gamer knocked it out of the park. And he may have. We'll have to wait and see. And remember, emulation is not backwards compatibility. That's something else that I'm going to be asking Optimus Code tomorrow night. If everything works out, we can get him on the podcast. Again, that will be on StreamYard so that we're not having any mic issues or anything like that. So that'll be on that bootleg podcast. Shout out to BitCloud, I think he called that. So, and again, they've already improved the streaming on PS Now. If you stream games now on PS Now, I believe those games will be 1080p. Now it's still streaming and it's still 1080p. And again, I don't have an issue with 1080p because Forza Horizon 5 is going to be 1080p. Okay, they're going to have a 1080p mode at 60 frames per second. So again, the best place to play Forza Horizon will be on PC. I'll just be playing it at 60 frames per second in ultra graphic settings on my PC. And I'll put it up to like 1440p. So again, I cannot stress this enough. So again, we're going to get into it now. Let me go ahead and take a swig here of some of my Sunday sinful tasting juice here. Okay. So the name of this one, we're just having a discussion here. Shout out to everybody that's here. Go ahead and share the care. Go ahead and share that we're live. The reason why the name of this podcast is, the discussion is, what is understood does not need to be spoken. So what exactly am I talking about? Okay, I'll just use a football team, the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers is one of the best organizations run in the country. It's also one of the top organizations run in the NFL. Now, you don't hear Steeler fans running around saying that. Do you know why? Because what is understood does not need to be spoken. We'll move on to something else. Tom Brady has played in 9 Super Bowls and won 7 of them. You don't hear Tom Brady running around saying, hey, I won 9 Super Bowls. Hey, I'm married to a supermodel. Hey, I'm one of the oldest quarterbacks ever playing the game and I'm still effective. Tom Brady does not going around saying that I'm the GOAT. Because what is understood does not need to be spoken. Okay? The Alabama Crimson Tide. Yes. Roll Tide. That college football team is the excellence in execution. You do not hear them running around talking about how many national titles they've won. You don't hear them talking about how Nick Saban, I believe, has surpassed Bear Bryant. I think he has. Could be wrong. The reason why Alabama comes into town You know what they're going to do. They're going to line up in a power formation, and they're going to run the ball down your throat. They don't have to get on television or get on the radio and say, Coach, what are you going to do when you play Ole Miss? Coach, what are you going to do when you play against Texas? Coach, what are you going to do when you play against Auburn? Because what's understood does not need to be spoken. They're going to line up and they're going to power the ball down your throat, and they're going to dare you to stop them because they are the excellence of execution. So it doesn't need to be spoken what they're going to do. The New York Yankees are one of the most storied franchises in Major League Baseball. It's not about liking the Yankees. It's not about loving their tradition. They don't have to talk about where their place is in Major League Baseball. We know about the Lou Gehrig's, the Babe Ruths, the Derek Jeters. They don't have to talk about them. They don't have to tell you how great those guys were playing. Because what is understood does not need to be spoken. So it's not spoken. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are president and vice president of the United States of America. They don't have to go out on the radio, in the Rose Garden, on television, down the street, and scream, we're the president and vice president of the United States, respectively. Because what is understood does not need to be spoken. PlayStation is absolutely dog-walking the Series X in multi-plat games and through first party. Jim Ryan and Herman Hulst have sold more consoles in the same amount of time than they had during a pandemic than when there was no pandemic. They don't have to come out and say it because what is understood does not need to be spoken. So, where does this lead us to? Why is all this conversation online, on Twitter? Now, granted, let me be honest here. The place in Twitter where everybody is at is so small, it's like a speck of dirt on the beach. It's just finite. It just doesn't really matter. The reason why there's people in the Xbox community talking about the power differences is because it's not understood. Because if it was understood, they wouldn't have to talk about it. So they are constantly reminding themselves that the Xbox has more teraflops and compute units. Again, because everybody knows that already. But because it's not translating on the screens, they have to constantly remind everybody. Because what is understood does not need to be spoken. But because it's not translated, they have to constantly talk about it. Okay? I'm seeing things, there's still people complaining about $70 games. So let's just get to the bottom of that horse right now. The people in the Xbox community are afraid that if $70 games are successful, and they have been, okay, that will become the standard. And that they do not like the fact that Game Pass has a bunch of quantity, but it is crappy on quality. And I can say that because I had Game Pass on PC for damn near a year. So I know what crap is on there, and 90% of that stuff is filler. And now they're telling me to wait on a game. I can't imagine that. I can't imagine owning an Xbox and not having anything on it except old stuff. And then the new stuff I'm getting is 30 frames per second. It has no ray tracing, no machine learning. It doesn't have any of this. And you told me that it was going to have all of this from the jump. It was going to be better. And again, the reason you had to tell people these things is because, it's because you didn't understand it. See, the fact you have to keep bringing it up and keep coming back to it means that it's not understood. And the reason why it's not understood is because it's not true. Because things that are true are understood to be true. Therefore, they don't have to speak about it. We know it's true. Okay? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers won the Super Bowl last year. Everybody understands that, okay? We understand that. Tampa Bay, the Buccaneers don't have to constantly come on the television set and say, we won the Super Bowl. Yeah, we know you all won. We know it. Again, what's understood doesn't need to be spoken. So, I'm seeing all kind of crap about $70 games. Again, they're back to that again because they don't like it. And again, it's not my fault that you're broke. It's not Sony's fault that you're broke. It's not LG's fault that I can't go to the store and buy a LG 49-inch CX TV. That's not their fault. Okay, it's my fault. I mean, if I want that TV, I need to go ahead and make ends to get it, right? To sit up there and complain to LG that your TV's too expensive, they're going to say, well, it's not our fault. You can't afford it. Again, what's understood does not need to be spoken. I already know the TV is expensive. It is up to me, the consumer, to put it all together. So why are they talking about $70 games? Well, because they don't want that to become the norm. They don't want multi-plat games that will not be on Game Pass to go up to $70. That's what they're fighting against. That's why they're upset. So every time a $70 Sony game comes out, they're going to complain. You will constantly see them complaining. Y'all are stupid for paying that. What they're saying is that they don't have the money to pay this. Why are you all paying for it? I shouldn't have to go out. The next Resident Evil game is going to be $70. Okay? The next Resident Evil game will be $70. The next Call of Duty game, I mean, it was already $70, right? That Call of Duty that just came out, Cold War, whatever it's called, that was $70. Okay, Battlefield, is that not $70? Yes. So this is happening. And they don't want to have to pay $70. They'll just say, well, I'm just going to wait for the game to come on Game Pass. Well, okay, you may be waiting for years, or EA Access, or whatever you want to call it. Won't it go to EA Access before it goes to Game Pass? Yes. I mean, I'm talking about Battlefield now, not Call of Duty. Is Call of Duty on Game Pass? I'm not here to say it's not. I know there's a Call of Duty 3 or whatever that's called, Modern Warfare 3 or something 3. I don't know. I don't really play those games a whole lot. So, so they don't want the multi-plat games to go up to $70. That's why they're complaining. That's why they're complaining. My advice to you all is to stop arguing with them. Tell them they ain't got no money, take their broke ass home. End of discussion. That's if they're in your thread. Okay? That's if they're in your thread. The other thing I'm seeing is something about the SSD and how Xbox's SSD is loading games faster. Again, what is understood does not need to be spoken. Games built ground up with Sony's SSD in mind are going to load faster than they do on the Xbox. Let me make that clear. That's understood. All right. So the fact that there's people online trying to say, well, that wasn't true. Well, okay. We'll wait and see 2 years from now when these developers start making games and they're streaming their data to save RAM. Okay. If you want that's how that thing works. Okay. And for me, Tomb Raider loads, I mean, that's a game that's backwards compatible or whatever you want to call it. That game loads extremely fast to the point where I can barely get comfortable, sitting in the chair to cheat on the codes that I need to get past those stupid puzzles. I don't have no time hardly to pull it up. I'm like, all right, let me go over here, and I put it on, I have to load it or the character dies. I don't know, my character's died about 10,000 times because I love that tsunami scene where there's somebody hanging off the edge of the wall, and then they croak. Well, my character dies too because I start laughing, and then it reboots like in 2 seconds. I'm rebooted, So, but again, what is understood does not need to be spoken, So I already know that. I've been told by 3 developers now that they're going to start developing so that they can stream data in, because I guess streaming data, the way it was explained to me, that if you stream it in, it doesn't take up as much room in the memory, and you're always fighting for more memory and all that kind of stuff. They put the assets in place You just put them in place. I mean, now to me, I don't understand how they do that. So this is another reason I'm gonna have Optimus Code on, because maybe he can break it down in layman's terms. He may not be able to. I may still be standing there like what? What did you say? You know, but maybe not. Maybe I can ask enough questions to get it to a point where I'll understand it. So, guys, anytime you have the ability to bring or talk to people who have a better amount of knowledge on something than you, go ahead and ask the questions. See if you can go ahead and talk to them and ask those questions. So, I mean, it's a simple, people don't mind talking to you and giving you the information. And Optimus Code wants to. That's why he came online. He thought, okay, these guys just have a baseline misunderstanding on what's going on. And then when he tried to explain it to them, they kicked him out of the community. I mean, you got to tell that story. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. So, but once all right, so what's understood? So when I see people arguing, and I saw somebody saying, well, what's the big deal? It's his opinion that Xbox is dominating. I'm like, man, there are figures that clearly prove that's not true. So why are you okay with him lying? That to me is the Scooby-Doo mystery. Where's Fred? Where's Velma? Where's Daphne? Where's Shaggy? Where the hell is Scooby? I mean, we need to figure out why this is okay for them. Okay, but they want everybody else to be okay with it. No, the world is full of misinformation. You can't, if you have to constantly tell me that the Xbox is more powerful, that means that what is spoken is already understood. So, I'm sorry, but what is understood is already spoken. So you don't have to keep telling me that, but because I'm not seeing that translate in real time, you have to constantly try to remind. Well, the Xbox is going to be doing this. It's going to be doing that. Sony doesn't have anything coming out to the end of the year. I'm like, well, Sony's had plenty of games come out since the beginning of the generation. So big deal. If they don't have anything coming out at the end of the year, I'll just be playing something that I haven't been able to play yet. Like, I've still not been able to play Returnal yet, or Resident Evil Village, where that tall woman is at. Everybody keeps talking about this tall woman. Okay, so I've yet to be able to install that because I'm still playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Mass Effect. Which Mass Effect in July was one of the most played games on PlayStation. So I'm proud of the PlayStation community for playing that game, because it's something that, and I understand that game did not come out on PS3 till late in the generation, and that was an Xbox game. Okay, Microsoft published Mass Effect 1. Got to remember that. So they did not publish that game to the PlayStation until late. I think EA bought BioWare, and then since EA bought the license, EA published it to Sony. But people can double check that, though. People can double check that. But guys, just remember, you do not have to get back and forth, be in these back and forths with people. So, I mean, hell, if I understand that their SSD is, what they're talking about is streaming the data in, not necessarily. I mean, again, the Xbox guys, they truly think all SSDs do is load stuff fast. That's what they think. Okay? That's what they think. So, and again, we all know that that's not true. So, you don't have to argue with them, but, you can correct somebody. Like, hey, look, man, you do know SSDs can be used for more than loading things fast. So, and again, once the developers start streaming their data in, Sony has a major advantage. That's why they did that SSD like that. Mark Cerny clearly said that they wanted to be able to move data in and out. I mean, he says this on the road to PlayStation. Now, went over my head, but shout out to Sick Humor when he broke it down. It's like, all right, that does make a little more sense that they don't want something stored that you never use. And one of the things I remember is in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas on the PlayStation 2. Rockstar Games very famously said that with PlayStation 2, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, there's no more room left in the memory, like none. They got all the memory out of it that they could, but there are things on Grand Theft Auto San Andreas that that a lot of people didn't do. Like they found out that a lot of people didn't go get their boating license. I don't know if you knew that on Grand Theft Auto San Andreas on the PlayStation 2. You can get your boating license. You had to get your airplane license. That was part of the main story. But you could get your boating license and you could get a car license so that your character, as I keep on wanting to call him, is it CJ? That made it so that he drove the car better. You know, you weren't having as many wrecks and spin outs if you got the licenses. But my point to you is that people didn't go get those things, but they still had to store them in memory because it was something that you might do. Okay, it was something that you might do. Well, if you stream the data in, you don't have to store it there. You can just say, okay, Craig played Grand Theft Auto San Andreas and he never got his boating license. But it didn't take up any mass memory because if he went to that part of the map, we would stream that in that he could do it. That's saving, somehow that saves memory. I don't know how that works, but I wrote it down so I could ask Optimus Code and and hopefully if he can come on, I can talk to him about that. Maybe break that down a little bit more because you all may understand the way that works. Let me make that clear. Let me make that clear. You all may understand it. I'm just trying to get some more clarification. Just like I want some clarification on ray tracing sound, audio. Because ray tracing, graphics, and all that kind of stuff, it does more than that. It enhances a lot more than that if you didn't know already. So we'll have to, we'll wait and see. I mean, we're gonna hopefully get him on. Yeah, the Almighty Spartan God, the boating license. Yeah, I know that. My point is that a lot of people did not do it, but again, listen to what I'm saying. Rockstar Games still had to store the information in memory just in case you did do it. So apparently, if they're streaming the data in, then they don't have to store it in that hard memory. It's just stored in some other part. It's stored on the SSD. And then if you were to drive over to that part of the game, it would load that in. It would stream that data in so that you could do it. So there's a difference in holding it in memory and then which is going to take up the RAM, I guess. But again, well, I'll ask Code. I wrote the question down. This is not over here where I'm sitting. So, yeah, we know you couldn't do it in Grand Theft Auto 5 because again, but why would you when they had Grand Theft Auto San Andreas and they saw nobody hardly did it in that? So why would you waste and put it back in? I mean, that's just reality, right? It's kind of like, no, that's a waste of assets. We won't do that for this game. So it is what it is. So let me see what you all were talking about here in the chat. But guys, just remember what is spoken, what is understood doesn't need to be spoken. Okay, if you park the Corvette convertible, hell, let's give you a 68 Stingray convertible, black, original factory parts. If somebody said you can drive this car right now for the rest of your life, or they put a Lamborghini next to it, okay, right next to your vintage 68, 69. Hold on. All right, I'm back. So yeah, and somebody parks a Lamborghini next to it and says you can drive this Lambo for the rest of your life. What is understood doesn't need to be spoken. Everybody knows you're going to jump in a Lamborghini. It's just you don't have to explain it. Okay, everybody understands that, so it does not need to be spoken. Okay. And there is no, well, I mean, Corey, yeah, we're at a point in the conversation has devolved. Well, I don't disagree with that. Again, they're afraid that that's what Microsoft is going to do. So, and again, I've seen people putting that thing in, and it doesn't look like it ain't nothing but a thing. Okay, but again, you're dealing with a group of people who got trophies for showing up. I mean, you know, that's it. You got a trophy for showing up. And so they don't know how to use a screwdriver. Microsoft doesn't make us do this. Well, yeah, but Microsoft is in third place. So who cares what they got you all doing, not doing? Okay? Microsoft doesn't have any exclusives either. You all accepted that. Microsoft doesn't have anything coming out for 2 years. You've all accepted that. Microsoft has no games that are first party with ray tracing or machine learning. You have accepted that. So why not? You know, so who cares if you can't use a screwdriver? That's your father's fault. I mean, your father should have taught, everybody should know how to use a hammer and nail and a screwdriver, you know, whether it's a flathead or a Phillips. And I think the PlayStation is a what? You got to have a flathead, right? I think it's a flathead. And again, I'm not doing it simply because I don't see the need to do it. You know, I mean, all the games that you get, if you don't have enough room on your, like right now, I've got The Witcher 3, you know, I've got The Witcher 3 on the PS5 because I had 2 accounts. And once I got in touch with Sony, I got my second account going, and she helped me out. Shout out to the Sony sales rep or the customer service rep. But I had a ton of games that I had been playing on the other account that I'm like, all I have to do is switch where it says user or something like that. She just said, go to your profile, switch to user. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, here it is. And I had all kind of games on there. So one of them was Witcher 3. But my point is that if I don't have enough room for Witcher 3, I can just delete it and put it into the cloud storage, which is part of the PlayStation, right? I put it into the Azure cloud, and then when I want it, I'll just bring it into the to the PlayStation. Now, there's some people who don't want to do that. I understand that, and and Sony made it possible where they delivered an SSD that they could put in, and they don't have to do what I'm doing. So I'm not knocking what they're doing. I just don't see myself doing it. But again, I'm not going to sit up here and rail and say, y'all are stupid for going out and spending $120. Well, that's stupid. You know, that is stupid on my part. So, yeah, if they can't use a screwdriver, I mean, it's like, that's like talking to a 5-year-old. Okay, it's like talking to a 5-year-old, and they always want to come back with, well, Sony lied to you all. They lied. No, Microsoft lied to you all. Okay, you all the ones who got lied to. You know, you all are the ones who are spread eagle, buttering and lathering yourselves up for nothing. They were talking about Cyberpunk the other day. Well, Cyberpunk's got more assets on the Xbox. Yeah, it's got more screen tearing and frame dips too. I mean, what are we doing here? You bragged about Fidelity FX. So if you talked about it, but they didn't know what it was supposed to do. They didn't know what it was supposed to do. Because any resolution difference is going to be fixed. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. So if something has better resolution or draw distances on the Series X, once Fidelity FX goes into effect on those games, which is going to take time, it won't matter anymore. You know, the Xbox resolution is done. It's over. This is why Sony, I believe, concentrated on performance. I'd rather have 60 frames per second or ergo the option to do it. Okay? And I don't care if they got to drop it to dynamic 4K or 1440p or whatever. You know, you all know my staying point is 1440p. If somebody asks me about PC, what should I get? What resolution should I go for? I've been consistent. I've always said 1440p. I've always said that. So again, 1440p, ultra graphics, if you can get a setup to run like that. Okay, I stand by that. Now, if you can afford a 4K monitor, you know, and then you're going to get, you know, you got the money to do that, and you got, hey, look, instead of me getting the 6700 on AMD side, I'm going to go ahead and get this 6800 or 6900 and do 4K. Yeah, well, that's fine. That's fine. Do the thing. No, do it. Hold on. I'm not doing it. Hold on. Ah. So, I stabbed in the hand multiple times. You stabbed me in the hand with a screwdriver. Well, I mean, they don't know how to use a fill. I don't know how they put anything together. I mean, they complain about a screwdriver, but they love batteries. Make that make sense. Okay, it makes no sense. And do you notice they don't talk about power anymore? They now are talking about Sony not having any games in around the holidays, when Sony has put more games out the entire generation with ray tracing that hold 60 FPS, that do machine learning, that do Fidelity FX. The PlayStation 5 is the first console to have Fidelity FX going on some game. I don't know, Carmageddon or whatever it was called, whatever that was called. That is through Fidelity FX. Again, I'm not saying that it's good. I'm not saying it's bad because I don't have the game. But you know, whatever's going on with that, you know, whatever the hell's going on with that is going on with it. So, well, to me, it's over and done with, Corey. I don't really talk about it a whole lot online anymore. And to me, I'm like, dude, why are you all going back and forth with these people? They don't have anything to play. They were just saying that Flight Sim was the biggest game in history and all that kind of stuff. And they're not even playing it. You know, they're not playing it. They're not. You know, talking about I spent 8 hours in training. Okay, well, let's see some video. I mean, I put more footage on Flight Sim. I have put more footage on Microsoft Flight Sim on this podcast than any of them have. So, I mean, again, they don't play their games. I don't know, but again, they don't have nothing to play. Now, they're going to take a bunch of screenshots instead of Forza 5, which is fine, but guess what? I'll be playing that on my PC. So again, there's nothing that they can come back at me with, you know. So, and yes, I'm still holding the pony's feet to the fire. Where's my Blue Point Games announcement? Here it is, August 8th, and Sony, according to them, was supposed to have an event on the 12th or something that calls itself a Jeff Grubb said this is going to happen. I mean, again, look, Sony could announce this tomorrow, okay? But this is why you all, I mean, I'm seeing them put things in podcasts, Sony event plan. They told me there was going to be an event in July, okay? They said there's going to be an event in July. Okay, well, where did that go? You know, so this is nuts. So the console war ended officially when Sony hit 10 million. That's it. It was over. You know, 10 million is 10 million. So it's over. It's done. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. If you all want to keep going on it, they're definitely giving you the ammo to do it. But you know, you have Digital Foundry scratching their heads, always making excuses. You have NX Gamer who's starting to pick up a lot more momentum. Shout out to NX Gamer. And it's because people they're tired of Digital Foundry and what they're doing. Well, we're not going to zoom in on Microsoft Flight Sim, but you're going to zoom in 400 times on a PlayStation game. You know, it's just stuff like that. I just don't get stuff like that. That's why I'm just kind of like, yeah, it's entertainment. That's all it is. So the SSD install on PS5 is extremely dangerous. Well, I mean, Hans Peter, there's people doing it with half their brain tied behind their back. It's not hard. Okay, I mean, have you ever, I mean, I put more memory into my PC the other day. Now I have a whopping, wait for it, I have 24 gigabytes of RAM on my PC. Because I put another 8 gigs in. I didn't take it to the store. I didn't say, here, do this. I literally unplugged the damn thing. And then I slipped it in. I used my thumbs, those opposable fingers that you have. I used my opposable thumbs and pushed down on the sides. And I slid that baby right up on in there and clamped it down. and I turned the computer back on, and it said 24 gigs of RAM. Okay, now I could probably do that with the SSD, but where the SSD is on my PC, I'm afraid to do it. So yeah, I'm gonna let the Black Order take a look at that and put in my 1 terabyte. Shout out to Jemiah Dixon for the gift card, Amazon gift card. It will be used to get the 1 terabyte SSD that he said that I should have gotten in the first place. Shout out to Soul Provider Speaks. So he watched he was watching. Hey, what did you think about King Short's pants? How many of you all saw Suicide Squad? And no spoilers, but what did you all think about King Shark's pants? King Shark's pants is the reason why you gotta watch that. That's all I can say. So Eric 83, you was playing Flight Sim and flew over my house yesterday. Well, there you go. I mean, did you zoom in and see it? Did you zoom in and see it? I mean, because that's what's going on. So, well, yeah, J Love, but why? I mean, yeah, they're lying. Are they a bunch of liars? Absolutely, absolutely. So, but I don't know. You don't gotta kill them. J Dub been killing them for over a year. I mean, it's just to the point where somebody in Germany reported his Twitter thing. I kid you not, man. Did you see that he posted that thing from Germany? So, oh man. Yeah, Sam asks, James Gunn was faithful, but what about King Shark's pants? I mean, that's what we're talking about here. I liked it. I mean, I liked the first Suicide Squad movie too, the one with that had Will Smith and all them in it. So that one was okay. So I enjoyed that one. People said that one stunk. I'm like, no, I thought that was okay. You know, the end cut scene was stupid. You know, the end cut scene was dumb. Let's see here. Who else is in here? Let's see. A whole lot of questions in here. I'm kind of disappointed. Thought they would have some questions for me this morning. So what's everybody playing? I'm playing Mass Effect 3. Okay, and Madden. I'm playing Madden. I'm at the last game of the season with the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm playing against Baltimore. So King Shark would have wore spandex with Shark. Oh man, that would have been hilarious. Yeah, that would have been funny. That really would have been funny. Yeah. Spandex that says Shark on it. Scarlet Nexus. Yeah, that's another multi-plat game that looks better. It looks and runs better on the PlayStation, by the way. But yeah, I heard it was a really good game. Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, that is, I believe, an exclusive to the PlayStation. Heard nothing but great things about that too. So Moonlighter on PS5. Let's see, what is that? What is that about? What is that about? A lot of content creators on both sides have run out of meaningful content. Right, yeah, Corey, you're right. You're right. And remember, didn't I say that's exactly what was going to happen? Remember, I said that like 3 months ago. These fanboys are going to run out of stuff to talk about. How many of you all heard me say, here's your difference between the fanboys and your gamers. The fanboys are going to eventually run out of stuff to talk about. So, in which community? You talking about the PlayStation? Look, the fruit booties are the fanboys. They're all fruit booties in my book. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. It doesn't mean they're not playing their games. It doesn't mean they're not having fun. It doesn't mean they're not online chasing trophies. But it means that they're online chasing trophies, and they think that's what makes them, you know, that somehow makes them hardcore. I'm playing Mass Effect 3, right? And stuff that I'm supposed to do, they're giving me a trophy for. It's like, I'm supposed to do this. What are we talking about? You know? So are you playing Destruction All-Stars? All right. The Crumb Side Gaming. I don't know what the gaming streets are. I keep hearing that I'm on them, but I keep looking around and I don't see it. So what is going on? So, But any fanboy, I mean, to me, just go out there and if you got the money, buy the game. And if you don't have the money, I mean, again, you can, in theory, get a PlayStation and sign up for PS Plus and PS Now, and you never have to buy a game. Because there's what, like 600 or something like that, or 700 on PS Now? I mean, really, I mean, you don't have to buy the game. You just stream it, or you download it, however you want to put it. You know, so, I mean, I'm playing this. I mean, I'm so sick. This rat game. Sick Humor said this little boy on this Plague Tale controls the rats. I'm like, then why is he complaining? I wish I could leave him. Why can't I leave him and just go move on? You know, with that person that I'm using. I'm so sick and tired of that little boy. Every time you leave him, he starts crying like a fanboy. That's what the fanboys look like. That's what that little boy is. That's why I called him a pony. Okay, I called that fanboy a pony, or that little boy a pony, because he cries all the time. It's like, why are you crying? You're okay. Here's another grown adult with you, and you can't leave me. Oh. You know, you know, if you're playing the Plague's Tale or you've played it, you know what little boy I'm talking about. I mean, how can you complain that much? I mean, how are you complaining this much? You know, so Cyberpunk and Returnal, there you go. See, I have not opened Returnal yet. I bought that game before I moved, and it's just here, along with Resident Evil Village. It's here because I'm playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Mass Effect and Madden. So, slinging rocks ain't easy. That is true, and the thing, and the game is not bad, but I wish it lets you dodge. But let me make this clear: the game is okay. The game is okay. I just don't like that whiny little boy, and I don't like the fact that the character can't dodge. With that said, I think the game is okay. Soul Survivor Speaks is playing Scarlet Nexus, Street Fighter V. Now you're talking. Samurai Warriors 8. That is cool. All right, now how many of you all are going to get Ghost of Tsushima? That's coming out, what, in a few more weeks? The director's cut of Ghost of Tsushima will be out in a couple more weeks. Deathloop is coming out in a few more weeks. Kenna, Bridge of Spirits will be out. Looking forward to that from Ember Labs. And that game probably won't be a long game, but I don't care. I'm looking forward to putting pants on the root. Maybe on PC, they'll mod it where the root will have pants on. So, because I always ask the developers, where are their pants? Even King Shark had pants. How come the root don't have pants? So people are getting Ghosts. Yeah, Kenna, I'm going to buy day one. And again, they didn't come out with a physical copy. Boo. But okay, fair enough. And yeah, Ghost is, yeah, Ghost comes out on the 20, when does it come out? On the 24th? So my birthday is the 23rd. So you all may have to hit that Cash App. Is that what all the people be saying on shout out to Soul Provider? Isn't that what they be saying in the manosphere? Hit that Cash App link or whatever it's called. Hit my PayPal, hit that cash link, you know, something like that. So yeah, but yeah, let's see. Paul, you still don't have a PS5? I thought you had one. Man. My bad. I didn't know you had one. You didn't. Well, let me tell you, it's a machine. They built a hell of a machine. So, getting ready for Hades. Yeah, now Hades was up for Game of the Year. It lost to The Last of Us Part 2, which like I said, was the most visceral game I've ever played. Ever. I've been playing since friggin' Zaxxon in the arcades. The most visceral game I've ever played is The Last of Us Part 2. Okay? Like literally, when that game ended, I was wore out. Like mentally wore out. So, so the Game Pass is a huge success and is making a lot of money according to Microsoft. Game Pass is not making a lot of money. Now, the way it's set up, if they can put it everywhere, it will make them a lot of money. But we got to remember, Netflix loses money as well. Netflix is losing money as well, but they can get money easily because everybody knows they're good for it because they're making enough to pay everybody back. So, so yeah, yeah. If you don't know, I've applied for my trademark on my podcast. So that is something that I said before. That is something that the manosphere got caught slipping on. You always trademark your stuff. But again, it's not the end of the world. The sun will rise, the moon will be there. So good learning lesson, though. Good learning lesson. So Microsoft says otherwise. Well, the numbers, it's not that it's not making money. It is. But it's not making money hand over fist like people claim. So am I getting Humankind? Is that a game called Humankind? Never heard of that. August is kind of mild. Well, Madden's out. See, I got to get Ghost of Tsushima and Madden. That's why I got to finish Assassin's Creed. Because that's the game I'm going to trade in on to get Madden. So, did Kenna not want to go up against Ghost? Well, no. I mean, it's not about that. It's just about the game wasn't ready. Okay, they said he wanted to polish it more. So, that's fine for me. I mean, that just leaves me time to play Madden. Oh, Diablo 2. Okay. Diablo 2 is up. So, yeah, there's a difference in revenue and profit. Revenue is what you have before you got to pay taxes and pay all your employees and stuff like that. So then after you get done with that, that's your actual profit margin. A lot of people don't understand that. So, but then again, they don't run small businesses or businesses at all. You can make $1 million in profit. That sounds great to the shareholder. Don't get me wrong. Oh, we got $1 million in profit. That sounds great on paper. But then if you got to pay out 700 grand in taxes and salary, what's your actual profit? Your actual profit is 300 grand per month. That's what you have to, and then out of that 300 grand, you're going to put 60% back into the business. Okay. So, I mean, you're still making good money. You're still making real good money. You see what I'm saying? So it is what it is. So I've not heard of that game, no. I'm not, so let me know what it's about. So, just look at the shareholder numbers. If you really want to know the numbers, just look at the shareholder numbers. That's when they have those shareholder disclosure meetings. The people report on, Benji Sales reported on them and stuff like that. Those are the real numbers. Okay, those are the real numbers. Okay, so just always remember that. And you go from there. So, you go from there. Sony's profit, Sony could say we had, umpteen $1 billion in revenue, but then you look at their profit and you say, oh, well, their revenue could have been up, but maybe their profit margin came down, but they're going to be more excited about the revenue because the revenue shows you potential on what your profits can be. You just have to change some things around. So, and that's for anybody. I mean, that's not just for Sony. That's for anybody. That's for anybody. So the delay game is disappointing for the delay, but a bad game is always disappointing. Yeah, you're right. That's like when a friend of mine got married, the woman taking pictures, she said the only thing the bride is going to have about this day are the pictures that she can show. So that's why getting the pictures right. If you're a guest at a wedding, or if you're in a wedding, man, that's a pain in the ass because you will be there taking pictures forever. Because everybody leaves the church and you're there, you're still taking pictures, and then you have to go to the reception and you got to take more pictures. But it's about that day. That's all you do that day. I tell people, like, if you're gonna be in a wedding, you're gonna probably be there. If that wedding's at 1 o'clock, you're gonna be in that wedding till about 8 o'clock at night. It's just you're gonna be there all day long. So the game is like Civilization, and what's it called again? Humankind. So what are you like early? Is it like your early humans or something like that? Is that what it's about? If it's like Civilization, I might check it out because I like those type of games. But I mean, So, but what I mean, what is the synopsis of the game? If it's like Civilization, I'll just play Civilization. So, what's making it stand out? Okay, that's my question. So, I'm gonna see. Yeah, Fist is on sale. You have PS Plus. I did see that. Yeah, I think I saw that. And people want a demo of that game. They want a demo of Fist. So it's good that people are asking for demos again. I think more people should we ought to ask for demos. But again, remember they stopped with the whole demo thing because people were saying that, the games were trash. They would give them demos. People would start ripping into the demos. Like, well, it's just a demo. So what's up, Lincoln Clay VR? Yeah, Lincoln Clay got that inside scoop on that PlayStation VR. And that's the way it should be. Go check out Lincoln Clay. You're gonna be talking about that VR. Which my understanding of what is according to I don't know who it was that was saying it's gonna be 100% compatible with PC. So it's about early humans. Well, I might watch it. So, but the whole key to early humans is that if once they discovered fire, that changed a whole lot for early humans. So you don't do demos and betas. You want the full finished product. Yeah, I remember the early days of the PS4 when Destiny came out, and the PS4 people got the alpha to it. Remember that back in the day? That was like the beginning of that console war when Bungie gave Sony, is what I was told, when Bungie gave Sony preference over Microsoft. And with Destiny, which was this, I told people, it's like a Halo clone, but they were mad. I mean, I remember going to get Destiny and I had that code for the alpha and people were mad. They were buying it for the Xbox. Like, yeah, I got the alpha. I'm going to go home and download it. That's not fair that they did this. They started crying like that little boy did on that rat game. Oh, man. So you ever anything about PC capability with PSVR 2? Yeah, I thought somebody was saying that it was going to be 100% compatible with PC, which makes sense if they're going to be putting games on PC. I'm like, that actually makes some sense. So, yeah. But what else makes sense is that it's almost 11:30, and I am going to bounce out of here because I am going to play. I guess I'm going to play Madden, see how I do against the Baltimore Ravens. So it's going to be tough. Estimate on the price, $399. PSVR 2, $399. So I don't think they can get away with $499 for VR. So now, if you have the old PSVR, you might be able to trade it in and get it for cheaper. But I say to be $399, or they may take a loss on it and go $299. But we should be getting an announcement soon. I mean, there's just too much in the wind at this point on that. So yeah, grand total. Let's just say it's $300, and then you went out and paid $400 for a digital version of a PlayStation. You're looking at a grand total of, what will that make it? See, 300 plus 400, $700 for the whole kit, for the whole PlayStation kit. And that doesn't include your monthly PS Plus or PS Now and EA Access and all that kind of groovy kind of love. Can you get a PS5 for $399? That's how much the digital one is. It's $399, I believe. So the one with the disc is $499. The one without the disc is $399. So, but altogether, it's expensive. You're looking at $700-800 altogether. Let me make that clear. Let me make that clear so that Post Up don't come back saying a bunch of BS. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. So, yeah, VR support for established AAA franchises. So, yeah, there we go. So, but again, on PC, they've got this thing called Track IR, which does work the same as VR, except it's to me, it's better. That's what I'm thinking about getting, but right now it's $170. So, and I almost bought it the other day, but I did not buy it. So, That's expensive. Well, hey, welcome to being an adult. You ain't got to buy it. $700. That's how much it is grand total. You know, and I think PSVR 1 will still work on PlayStation 5. As a matter of fact, Lincoln Clay would know that. Lincoln, does the PSVR, does it work right now on PS5? I mean, I assume it does because people are playing Rainbow Six and all that kind of stuff with PSVR. So you got to pay the cost to be the boss, baby. I mean, that's B.B. King, great American musician. Pay the cost to be the boss. You know, can't be broke. You ain't got no money. Take your broke ass home. Well, Link says it works. All right. So you get PSVR somewhere within $300 to $450. Yeah, I agree. Like I said, to me, $399. And if they try it at $499, I think they get crucified in the media. But they may not care. I mean, they may not care. They're like, you gonna buy this anyway, so. You need an adapter though. All right, well, there you go. So the adapter is free, right? It's like you could, is that the thing they were saying was free back in the day? It was like you could go ahead and get it. So PSVR and PS5 basically reverts the PS5 back to a PS4, yeah. And this one allegedly is using OLED and all kind of new tech. So the thing is that it has to be lighter. Okay, I would like it to be more like the Oculus Rift, where the Oculus Rift I don't think has too many wires on it. So it's free, okay, yeah. So yeah, I mean, to me it's the wires. I mean, that to me is that's unforgivable. So however they're patenting the new technology, make it, get rid of some of those wires, because that's the most important thing for because it doesn't, even though you can move your head all around, it doesn't feel like it when you have a wire on the back side, on your right side. It's just kind of like it's too many wires, So it's very good experience though for the price. But yeah, let's get rid of some of these wires or give us the option. Even I don't care if it's battery powered and Bluetooth. I mean, maybe they'll look into something like that. They'll say, okay, yeah, it'll be battery powered and it'll link up to a Bluetooth on your PlayStation 5, but maybe your battery will only last like 3 hours. So it's like, all right, it's fine. So PSVR 2 to have gaze tracking to reduce GPU stress. Wow. That is impressive. That is impressive. So, well, we'll have to definitely wait and see on that. Wow. They send you an adapter for PS5. Yeah, apparently so. Yeah, apparently so. So yeah, you gotta, nobody's gonna give you all anything for free. I don't know who you've been talking to. You're gonna go talk to your mom and dad. Matter of fact, go talk to your dads. Because your mom ain't gonna know. Your mom is gonna literally say, go talk to your father. Your father will tell you nothing is free. Okay? What do they say with the United Negro College Fund commercial? You can feel sorry for yourself, but don't expect the world to feel sorry for you. Okay, that was back in the 80s when that was being told to black people. Kevin Samuels, shout out to Kevin Samuels, says the world does not owe you or me understanding. He's right. He's 100% correct. So if you think something's expensive, I'm sorry, but you got to get your money up. I think the C1 and CX LG TVs are too damn expensive. I got to get my money up. I mean, I'm not going to complain about it. So it is what it is. Your dad's in jail, you can still go talk to him. Okay. Should only be one wire. Well, I mean, as long as they cut down on the wires, I mean, that's all, the wires make it cumbersome. Being cumbersome makes it look clumsy. If it looks clumsy, it just doesn't look very good. I mean, it's still a very good experience, okay? But it's, to me, if they can make it wireless, or as they would say in Tennessee, wireless. If they can make it wireless, then Bluetooth it, and maybe the battery will last a couple of, maybe 3 hours. I think that would be a good compromise. I mean, that's just my opinion. Okay, if I was in there and they asked me how do we make this better, that's what I would tell them. Get rid of the wires, go Bluetooth, let it last for 3 to 4 hours, and you plug it back up. Or if you want to, you can leave it connected with the wires. That's just me, my opinion. What's up, Big Cloud? I still got to listen to your interview yesterday with the IGN girl. So seems like you all had a good time, though. Yeah, hit that like button, Big Cloud. Slap it for me. So, oh, also maybe Big Cloud knows. Do you know any first-party Xbox games that have ray tracing and machine learning on them? I mean, if you do, please let us know. So, don't understand people's infatuation with Kevin Samuel, who doesn't give me. Actually, he does give men very good advice. So, but that's a matter of opinion. That's fine. So, and again, maybe go back and listen to when he talked to the men like 3 years ago. He did give good advice. So, but yeah. Now, did the men listen? Now, are they going to listen to him? Probably not, but that's okay. You don't have to. Gears 5 has software ray tracing. Okay. Does it have machine learning? Already knew it had software ray tracing. So, none of them right now. Oh no! Now here we are, almost a year out, and they still got no games with first party. Let me make that clear. First party games with ray tracing. So yeah. So like, oh no. Oh, that's terrible. Don't have no ray tracing on there. Isn't ray tracing part of full RDNA too? I mean, isn't that what I got told that? Okay. IGN girl don't have PS5. Oh, okay. Well, oh my goodness. I thought she would have. So I thought she would have one. That's terrible. I mean, you know, they are hard to get, but you do know that they did secure enough. They did secure enough chips to flood the market again. I think towards the end of the year, if the people who don't have one, you really need to go ahead and try to get one. That'd be the best time to get one. I say probably in October is when they really start coming out. And a friend of mine went to Walmart here in town a few days ago, and he got one. He couldn't believe it. Like, he literally couldn't believe it. They were like, wait a minute, y'all have that in here? You know, so, and I guess somebody ordered one, and it didn't go through on their card. See, I don't know how they do that with the ordering. I thought that when you ordered something, it automatically charged you, like, right then and there. But apparently, I guess they don't do that. So... You're right, it's a last gen title, but I'm just trying to give them some hurt. So, people saying Apple having their own VR headset, say that $3,000, gonna be $3,000. I hope that's not true, but nothing. Apple again is about quality. That's just kind of the best way to look at it. It's about quality, so they may go ahead and charge it. So. Wireless would make it a hell of more expensive. Well, again, no, if you make it wireless to the point where, what I mean is it has wires on it, but you can detach the wires for up to 3 to 4 hours and it runs Bluetooth for that amount of time, and then you have to recharge it again. So again, that shouldn't be that bad. So, but it could make it more expensive. You're right about that. The Sony should really sell the PS5 in store, not online. Yeah, I think they're going to be doing that in the fall. I think they are going to be doing that in the fall. So, I mean, the key thing is they cannot be telling people that they got it in stores. They just have to put them out. They just have to put them out, and people that walk in get them. Okay, that's what they did with the PS4. They did not put up any, at least in my city. No, you know, when they were at Kmart and Walmart, if you walked in there and they had them like any other thing. It's like you may go in there and get some orange juice. Like, oh, they got the good orange juice in here. Let me add it. You know. Corey Massey, men should not care about women's education. That's true. Because they can't, what difference does it make in the end, and what does their money make a difference in the end? Okay? They can't, the women at one point can't say that the women want their education and money to matter because they want to be equal to the men. And they can't in one hand say, I want you to protect me and take care of me, and then at the same time scream that, that they want equality, because, protecting them denotes they're weaker. So, yeah. And remember, Kevin Samuels is talking about high value men. Okay? To a high value man, their money don't make a damn bit of difference. Okay? It doesn't. Because he's not going to spend it. He got his own money. So it is what it is. Should their education matter? It does matter up to a point. But again, he's talking about high value men. They don't care what the woman's education is. So, I mean, he has said that multiple times. I just think people, based on what people have said, they think they can apply what he's saying to all groups of men. And there are some universal crossover principles. But yeah, high value men do not care about how much money their girlfriend has. They don't. So, but I understand if you're making, $39,000 a year, if you're making 39, then yeah, it may be, hey, how much you got? Oh, you make 48 and I make 39. So combined, we make over 80. That does make sense to me. That's fine. That's fine. Different strokes for different folks. So, you think you will sue Sony for making me stab you with a screwdriver? Well, I shout out to Marlon Gaming. I watched him. He put his in live and on TV. I mean, it was like, it wasn't that difficult. So I just think you got some men out here that are not mechanically inclined. I mean, so yeah, if your wife makes more money than you, then yeah, she actually does run the house. So, and again, it's okay that they make more money. And I mean, let me make this clear. Kevin Samuels is talking about high value men that are making over $100,000, have been making that for over 5 years. Okay, that man has a totally different perspective on life than a man making $42,000 a year. That man does. They have a different lifestyle. Okay, they do. I don't know what else to say. I went to Freaknik and stayed at, was lucky to stay at somebody's house. This guy had invested in Sale One back in 1979 or 1981. His stock was worth, get this, his stock was worth $14 million. This man lived in Alpharetta, Georgia. This is where the rich people live. He lived right down the street from Dion Primetime Sanders. He had 3 Lexuses. He had a van that was totally caked out. I mean, it was kitted to the floor. And he had one of the original Trans Ams that Burt Reynolds drove on Smokey and the Bandit. Okay? He lived a totally different kind of life than what we were accustomed to. We come down from our little state, our little dog crap state. We were either in college or working dead-end jobs at the time. And, we could not fathom being in this guy's house. I mean, this guy's house was worth, at the time, this is 94, 95. This guy's house was worth, I don't know, $4 million at the time. I mean, we could not fathom that kind of money. He actually told us about the wearable technology that you have now. He told us that, yeah, you'll be able to check your heartbeat on your watch or with a phone. And he told us that in 1994. So, I mean, again, they're just high value men are different than, people like me. There's people that work on the penthouse floor, and then there's somebody who's got to open the door. That's the doorman. There ain't nothing wrong with being the doorman, but don't compare yourself to the guy at the top. There's a pecking order. That's why there's a general, then there's a lieutenant general, then there's a colonel, then there's a sergeant, so men understand these things. So, so it is what it is. You fix things around the house and keep your car running on the road, but you messed up putting in an SSD. You just had a bad day. It happens. Not the end of the world. Uh, most super wealthy men marry really intelligent women who have money. No, they marry intelligent women, but those women a lot of times don't have the money. That's why they're marrying up. It's called hypergamy. So the women will always look to marry up or date up. A man will date down if the woman is cooperative. That is, to me, it's common knowledge. It just, you know, just a lot of people don't know it. But again, that's, you know, and it is what it is. So if you learn this to let your wife be right, yeah, that is true. That is true. That a lot of married men have told me that. Just say yes, dear. That is true. Okay. It's okay to let her think that she is, but yeah, you can say yes, dear. That's right. You know, the wife has the whole house, right? And you got your little man cave. You know, so that's true. You're right about that. You know, what do they say? Happy wife, happy life. You know, because if she ain't happy, ain't nobody in that house gonna be happy. So, but at the end of the day, yeah, you know, you ultimately have got to sit down and make decisions together. I totally understand that. So cohabitating with a female is different than not cohabitating with a female. I trust me, I know. So yeah, and sometimes you got to pick your battles. So like I said, you know, she didn't know I bought Returnal because we were moving. She would have saw me spend money on something like that. It would have been back at the store and I would have been on the couch. So she didn't know I bought it. So now it's going to look like, hey, I got it for my birthday. And she'll just kind of say, well, okay. Because that's what I'm going to do. I got it for my birthday. You know, I'm not stupid. It's what she don't hurt her. She's going to make me a birthday cake. I think she's going to make me a, what's that thing with the swirl on it? So I like the marble. I like the yellow marble cakes. Duncan Hines. Chocolate, and then on the inside it's yellow, but it's got a little swirl in there. So she's making me that, and I'm gonna have some vanilla ice cream and just get out of the way because I'm gonna be unstoppable with that thing. So yes, women will do a 180 on you. Look, you can't expect, I told her this. I do not expect her to make dinner if I don't put anything in the damn fridge. And you got too many men out here who think they don't have to put stuff in the fridge so for her to make dinner. I mean, you can't ask her to make dinner and, you know, not have the groceries. Remember Bill Parcells said that about, remember he was coaching the Patriots and he wanted to control the personnel and the owner of the Patriots didn't want him to have that. What did Bill Parcells say? He said, you want me to make dinner, I damn sure gonna go shop for the groceries. So I can't, again, it works the same way. I can't say, honey, what's for dinner? And she opened up the refrigerator, there ain't nothing in there. She's gonna say, you don't have nothing in here. And then imagine that, and me getting upset with her. Well, you're supposed to put the food in there. No, I'm supposed to go out and slay the dragon. I'm supposed to cut the dragon up for her to prepare. Then I will sit down and I will ask her, because this happens all the time. I will go in the kitchen and ask her if she needs help, and she just tells me to get out. Like that house did on Amityville Horror. You know, they were walking around the house. Oh, look, we got a nice fireplace. Oh, look at all this ceiling room. The house said, get out. And she does that to me in the kitchen. Get out. I'll let you know when it's ready. And yeah, I felt a little bit guilty about that because it's like, okay, not only does she do that, she will go ahead and break the table down, and I'll go in there to help her with the silverware and stuff, and then she'll just tell me to get out. Because ultimately that's where she wants to be, and that's her solace, and being in there and being able to prepare and get everything torn down. That's fine. No different than me being in a man cave. And if she tries to come in the man cave, I'll be like, man, get out. This is a man cave. What are we doing here? You know, but it is what it is. It's not that she can't be in there. It's just that I don't want her in there. I'll let her know when she can come in there. You know, so it's a man cave, you know. So, but yeah, you just got too many men out there who don't understand that about women. I mean, I can't expect them to do something if you got the food in the refrigerator and she's talking about you need to go in there and fix it yourself, that girl can go kick rocks, okay? That girl goes and kicks rocks. It's not like I'm going to argue with you. I'll make my own sandwich, but guess what? You ain't coming back over there. That's the way you got to let them know. You got to argue with them. There ain't no, this is a dictatorship, okay? You know, this is a dictatorship. So, you know, you can miss me with the attitude, you know? So that's a totally different story, okay? And guess what? You got to know that about her before you move on with her anyway. So, you know, this don't make your life harder than it has to be. That's this advice from an old man. Don't make it harder than it has to be. So I can go in there and make my own damn grilled cheese. So, you know, I don't need you to do that. So, you know, that's the way that's going to roll. So, but she already knows that. She knows that. She knows football season is coming up and I'm going to be doing wings and ribs and stuff like that. Like, she knows that already. So if she wants something different, you know, she's gonna have to either go get it or she can. I'll be at the store. She does the same thing all the time. Oh, you know what else would be really good with this? You know, why don't you go ahead and get those peppers and stuff like that? It always turns into that. I go to the store to get 3 things, and next thing you know, I'm coming out with a shopping cart. We're talking about, do you need help with this? You know, like, yeah, I mean, I came in here to get hot dogs and buns, and I didn't got the store. You know. But it's for the betterment because now everything's there. You know, the whole Saturday, she like, I knew you were going to be watching football all day. So now you got enough food here. I'm going to the mall. You know, I'm going over to my mom's house. I'm going over to your mom's house, you know, something like that. So that's the way that works. You know, it ain't hard. You do got a group of men out here, like I said, that are moist as hell. And, you know, they're moist. I don't know what else to say. You know, just don't be moist. I mean, just tell the women what you want up front. And if they don't capitulate, they don't want to cooperate, go somewhere else. It's not hard. Making your lives hard. Look, this entire pandemic, people dropping like flies. Don't make your life hard. Okay, life's too short. All right, so I'm gonna get on off here and I'm gonna actually play some Madden here around noon. So I will talk to you all later. And remember, what is understood does not need to be spoken. Peace out.